May 3rd, 2020, the Caribbean Sea, pitch black. Two fiberglass speedboats are cutting through the water, heading straight for the coast of Venezuela. Inside, 60 men. Their mission? Impossible. They aren't an official army. They are a ragtag group of deserters, mercenaries, and two former American Green Berets. They have a contract, allegedly signed in a Miami condo, to storm the capital, seize the airport, and capture President Nicolas Maduro. It was supposed to be a coup. It ended in a massacre. They called it Operation Gideon. The world called it the Bay of Piglets. But here's the thing. That botched invasion wasn't the end of the war in Venezuela. It was just one weird, violent chapter in a conflict that has been raging for years. Venezuela is at war, but not the kind you see in movies. There are no front lines, there are no trenches. It is a war of gangs, gold, spies, and a looming threat of a real invasion that could drag the entire Western Hemisphere into chaos. Today, we go inside the ghost war of Venezuela. To understand this war, you have to understand the battlefield. Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves on the planet, more than Saudi Arabia, more than the US. In theory, this should be the Dubai of Latin America. In reality, it's a shell. When the economy collapsed, the state didn't just disappear, it fractured. The government stopped being able to pay for a police force or a military in the traditional sense, so they made a deal with the devil. They outsourced the violence. Enter the Colectivos. Armed groups, loyal to the regime, who control the streets, but they are the small fish. Because while the government was distracted fighting political enemies, a monster was growing inside the prison system. This is Tocorón. For years it wasn't run by guards, it was run by Tren de Aragua. Imagine a criminal organization so powerful they built a nightclub, a pool, and even a zoo inside the prison they were supposed to be locked in. Tren de Aragua isn't just a gang anymore, it's a transnational army. They realize that in a collapsed state, crime is the only stable industry. Human trafficking, extortion, drugs. They have effectively declared war on the rule of law across the entire continent. This is the internal front of the war. The Venezuelan government recently raided Tocorón to take back control, sending 11,000 troops, but the leaders, gone, vanished before the troops arrived. The enemy is now everywhere. But gangs and mercenaries are just the noise. The real threat, the one that keeps Pentagon generals awake at night, is right here, the Essequibo. This jungle region makes up 2/3 of the country of Guyana. Venezuela has claimed it belongs to them for a century, but nobody cared. Until 2015. Why? Because ExxonMobil found oil. A lot of oil. Suddenly, Guyana became one of the fastest growing economies on Earth. And Venezuela, starving and desperate, looked next door and saw a jackpot. In late 2023, Maduro held a vote, effectively declaring this land a new Venezuelan state. He ordered state oil companies to prepare to drill there. He mobilized the army. This isn't a proxy war anymore. This is the threat of old-school, 20th century annexation. Think about the stakes. If Venezuela crosses that border, they are invading a US ally. Brazil has moved tanks to the border. The US Southern Command is running flight drills over Guyana. One wrong move, one accidental firefight in the jungle, and you have a regional war involving the US, Brazil, and Venezuela, who, by the way, is backed by Russia and China. We call it a crisis because we are afraid to call it a war. But for the people living there, the distinction doesn't matter. Whether it's the economic blockade, the gang violence, the mercenaries washing up on shore, or the tanks rumbling toward the jungle. The peace is gone. Venezuela is a country holding a grenade with the pin pulled out. The question isn't if it explodes. It's who gets caught in the blast when it finally does. If you want to understand how the gang Tren de Aragua managed to infiltrate the US, click this video here, and don't forget to subscribe.